This season for the Blazers has gone as expected. The offense has taken a major step back without Damian Lillard. The defense is still not good enough. There's still question marks about Chauncey Billups, the offensive system, and the overall direction of this rebuild. But there also have been things that have been very unexpected. Most notably, the injuries that this young core has dealt with this entire season. Although we're Blazer fans, so maybe we should have expected that one too. What's left is a team that sits at 17-42, gunning for the best lottery odds possible once again, but that was supposed to be more palatable this season, with Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe leading a young charge with hope for the future. But with those guys out, things have become a bit miserable in Rip City. But there's been one thing that has happened recently that has given me additional hope going into next season. But before we talk about, this video is sponsored by BetUS. America's favorite sportsbook is BetUS, featuring live betting and racebook. They're celebrating their 30th year anniversary with a historic offer, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. You can get started today by using my sign-up link in the description box below, and promo code JOIN125 to activate those first 3 deposit bonuses. Right now, you can still bet on NBA season awards such as Clutch Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year. You can bet on the state that you think the NBA championship winner will be from. And with March Madness and baseball season right around the corner, BetUS will have some action for you there as well. Right now, you can bet on the next city to get a Major League Baseball team, and Portland has the 3rd highest odds at plus 500. I would love to get a baseball team here in Portland. I would probably start a channel covering them. We need more pro sports in this city, but in the meantime, you can root for an MLB team by betting on them to win the World Series, and here are the lines for that. A couple of lines that I love here: Baltimore Orioles at plus 1400, I think is great odds to win the World Series. They're a bright, young, up-and-coming team. And I also think my Seattle Mariners at plus 2000 is actually a pretty good line because they have dominant pitching, and I think their lineup actually has a lot of potential this year. So remember that link in the description box below, and that promo code JOIN125 for 3 125% deposit bonuses on your first 3 deposits. And shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. So let's just jump straight into this. The one thing that I referenced in the intro that is giving me some hope for next season is Toumani Camara's shooting. Camara has been a revelation defensively for the Blazers, oftentimes guarding point guards, picking them up full court, at times guarding bigger forwards and doing a solid job there. He's been good off the ball defensively, makes the right rotations, and recognizes things very quickly for a rookie, as most rookies struggle to adjust to the fast pace of an NBA game, especially on the defensive end where plays happen at breakneck speed, and you have to recognize things instantly in order to have the time to rotate to your help side responsibility and cut off a drive, or rotate out back to the 3-point line, close out on a shooter, not let him get a 3 off, but also not give up a driving lane. There's a lot of nuances to the defensive side of the basketball, and I've been impressed with how Toumani Camara has done as a rookie in a bunch of these different areas. At 6'8", and as a guy who can move and guard multiple positions, the Blazers have been looking for that type of defender since they lost Al-Farouq Aminu and Maurice Harkless. They've tried to find that guy in Trevor Ariza, Robert Covington, and Jeremy Grant, but Ariza was simply older, Robert Covington gambled a little bit too much and couldn't guard on the perimeter, and Jeremy Grant can't get through a screen for the life of him. I finally think the Blazers have found that type of forward that is versatile enough to guard on the perimeter, big enough to guard on the interior, and is just all around solid in Toumani Camara. But in the NBA, you need to be able to bring something on the offensive end. And the offensive end has been a major problem for the Portland Trail Blazers this season. We've heard the term 3-and-D guy thrown around a ton, and it's a very valuable archetype in the NBA. Toumani Camara has shown a lot of promise in one of those two things, but the 3-point shot has been a struggle for him all year. And that was to be expected. During his 4-year college career, Toumani Camara's 3-point percentage improved every season, but there was a lot of room for improvement to begin with. In his first season at Georgia, he shot 17%, 5 for 29. In his second season, he raised that to 26%, but that's still not good. Then he transferred to the University of Dayton. In his junior season, shot 34%, and then in his senior season, got that 3-point percentage up to 36%. However, he still wasn't a great free throw shooter. He shot 63% from the free throw line during his college career, which is not indicative of a guy that is capable of shooting the ball. However, when you watch Toumani Camara shoot, his form looks good, it's smooth, he has good flow and good rhythm to his jumper, and his shot looks like it should go in. Of course, we've seen pretty jumpers that don't result in makes. Victor Claver was famous for that, for those of you who remember him. But the 3-point ball has always been and will continue to be the key for Toumani Camara being able to be a rotation player on a good team. Right now, the Blazers obviously aren't good, so that's not really relevant for his playing time currently, but going forward, assuming this rebuild is successful, Toumani Camara has a chance to be a big part of it as long as he can hit the 3-ball well enough to space the floor. And in the last 10 games, Toumani Camara is on a hot streak. He's shooting 12 for 20 from behind the 3-point line. That's 60%. And while that is obviously impossible to maintain, it is a really good sign going into next season if Camara can shoot the ball close to what he's been shooting it like recently. He's now shooting 32% from 3 on the season, which is a better mark than a couple other forwards that he's often compared to on the Blazers roster. Chris Murray was supposed to come in and be a shooter, but he's only shooting 27% from 3. Jabari Walker, who was a bit of a shooter in college, is also shooting 27% from 3. His shot has not panned out. Toumani Camara shooting 5 percentage points better than both those guys this season is a bit of a surprise. Part of it is Walker and Murray underwhelming as shooters, but part of it is Toumani Camara living up to my expectations for him as a shooter. I expected Camara to shoot roughly 32-33% from 3. While that isn't quite good enough to get him respected as a 3-point spot-up shooter, it's close enough that I have hope that with another offseason of work on his jumper, maybe fixing a couple of little inconsistencies that lead to misses, Camara can get that 3-point percentage up to 35-36%, and that is a good enough percentage that if defenders leave him, he'll make them pay with an efficient enough shot. And that's a good enough percentage that teams probably won't leave him on the 3-point line, and that'll give Scoot Henderson, Shane Sharp, and Anthony Simons, if he's still here, more space to attack the rim and try and finish or make plays for others, and it makes things a lot easier on those guys if they have a versatile defender next to them to help out on the defensive side of the floor, and then somebody that can space the floor on offense. Right now, it's really tough to find positives with the Portland Trailblazers, given that Scoot Henderson and Shane Sharp aren't playing. Anthony Simons has been in a little bit of a slump, but Toumani Camara's shooting is the biggest positive over the last 10 games, because if it's a sign of things to come, Toumani Camara could be one of the better 3-and-D options in the league next season. Anyway, let me know what you think of Toumani Camara's play as of late and as him as a player overall. And remember to sign up with BetUS, link in description, promo code JOIN125 for 3 deposit matches. And I'm out of here. I'll catch you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.